spot being open for SRH. Another team which has a few overseas spots open actually is Rajasthan Royals. So what's happened with them now is obviously they were only playing with three overseas players using Karan Nair in there. I don't know why when you have like a batsman like Rassi van der Dussen, but they were playing him and only three overseas players. But now another development has happened. Shimron Hetma is having a kid, so he's flown back to the Caribbean, and they have another overseas spot filled. So they only have two set overseas players in Joss Butler and Trent Bolt. So, what changes would you guys make to the team? I obviously would have Rassi in for Karnaya, um, and I would probably have James Neesham in uh, for Karna and promote Riyan
Yeah.
Parag up the order so Nisham can finish.
I mean, we
You know,
talked about the same
exactly.
changes. Like we talked about the
Yeah.
same changes like a couple of weeks ago. I mean, bringing Rassi in, obviously, we love Rassi here. Not Om as much, but Ryan and I love Rassi. And then Neesham in a good all rounder. We talked about it last week as well.
I think
Yes.
Rassi to an extent, like before this, when Butler was performing, Rassi becomes just a pointless player in the team because you have a lot of people performing and you get very less balls. So even if you see Hetma, he's getting only 13 to 15, not 13 to 15, 10 to 20 balls to play per game. And he's having a 20, 30 run impact then and there. So I think Rassi to an extent becomes irrelevant in the team. But still, Rassi is a very good option to play.
No, but why would
Again,
you
I
play
would
Karnaya instead of Rasi? Like, there's no upside to that. Rasi is
no,
just
yeah, I know. So I'm still playing Rassi. I'm just saying he's irrelevant.
okay.
So yeah, so Rassi plays and so does Jimmy Neesham. They don't have any other option. I think they have Obed McCoy. They have Daryl Mitchell. I don't think any of them are going to work out
Wait,
too well.
Obed
I just
McCoy almost
I
became the.
Karna was actually dropped last game. They brought Jaiswal in and he performed really well. But they moved Devdutt Padikkal back to his original position at 4. And I don't think that works. You can see from his last season and the season before that, his heaviest runs are in the power play. And
And in this game, like he
Jaiswal
wasn't able to score at any like
yeah,
substantial.
he could
You
only
can't
run a ball.
you can't say his this thing from last season, the season before that was mainly in the power play. That's because he was opening every game. So
Okay, that's
but
true.
even after the power play, his strike rate
yeah,
dropped
I
to
know.
below.
After power play, he dips. Like I know that
Yeah,
watching all the
and
RCB
even
games, it's
last
pretty
game
obvious.
he scored at under a run a ball. I don't think he's the best option at number 4, especially with Joss Butler and Jaiswal opening. Jaiswal, who's a retained player by the way, who they put their faith in and should have never dropped. But I don't think Padikkal fits into that team. I would rather just play Rassi.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
fair to yeah, I get. I mean the problem. Yashasvi Jaiswal performing has created a bit of a problem because I don't know if they'll drop him right away. I don't know if they'll drop Devdutt right away. They might want to play him at 4 for a few more games just because he performed fairly decently. Sort of at the when Jaiswal is dropped at the top, he performed fairly decently. And so I don't think they'll drop him right away. But yeah, I agree. With Jaiswal performing, he doesn't really have a role in the team because Rayan talked about it. We even have a short about it, guys. It's called Can Padikkal Bat? He can't really bat outside the power play, make as much of a meaningful impact. He obviously batted at less than a run a ball. So yeah, but it's created a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, Jaiswal performing is obviously good for RR fans, and it makes like his retention feel better for the Rajasthan management. But yeah, they have a few problems like SRH that they need to fix if they want to make it to the playoff, which I think they'll make it to the playoffs. But you always want to put your best team onto the 11.
Yeah, I
Um,
think another thing for Rajasthan Royals is they have a lot of players that they can turn to. They have Klasit Krishna, Trent Bolt, a lot of whom are showing great promise. Ashwin Chahal, of course, the one of the best spin duos playing in the IPL. I think Ashwin's really popped up his performances in the second half with the ball gripping and turning more. It aids the off spinners a lot more than it did, as we've seen, because bowlers like, to an extent, Aksar Patel Even Glenn Maxwell's getting wickets. So it's aiding the spinners. And I think the best, the one of the best performers for them has been Shimron Hetmeyer. He's been constantly finishing off games for them. Like 30, he hit 27 from 13 balls in the last game, I think, if I remember correctly. And he's been doing really well. In my opinion, he should get more balls because he's some player who can. He's a player who can hit 50 of 25 for you on any given day, actually. So I think the role he's been given is quite well. It doesn't help Rajasthan. If he could be pushed up to play higher, I think he does a better job for them, especially since you still have finishers existing for them. But yeah, Rajasthan have been good, and I think they're quite a surety to qualify unless we have a massive upset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I'd say the top three teams are almost surely qualified. And that I mean the two new teams of GT and LSG, and obviously Rajasthan Royals. But you know,
Wait,
nothing is certain.
do you think Rajasthan actually have a chance for a title run, which they
Yes.
haven't done since 2008?
I actually back them over LSG and GT. I put my hat in for RR to win the thing. Like I mean, they obviously look better at the start of the season. They've had a couple of dry runs throughout the middle, but I still think as a team, by the time the playoffs come, they'll be able to find a more of a now the performing Jaiswal as well, that changes a bunch of stuff. So we'll really have to see how that works out. But a performing Jaiswal plus a performing Butler, as we've seen with CSK, it's a performing openers is a recipe for success. So I think I'd back RR for the title.
Good.
What about you?
Yeah.
Good. I think
Yeah.
you're wrong. I'll tell you why. Just give me a second.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, for me, I don't think RR will win it, but I think they'll make it into the top 4 quite easily. Maybe
This is why you're wrong. Here's the team that's going to win the IPL this year.
Oh, nice. Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
that's
We
why
get
you're wrong.
once again
Okay.
the RCB fan in denial. Okay.
everyone who's watching
not
this,
denial. How is it
Om is
denial?
joking.
There's
We
no denial.
not officially back them.
If
It's not denial.
CSK
There's
has
no
a higher
qualifier.
chance of
It's not
qualifying
even
than
allowed.
RCB does of winning the title, bro. And that's a low ass chance.
That's bro. I thought you wrote a math exam today. That seems a bit mathematically inaccurate.
Nah, man.
I-
Like, nah. RCB is not gonna win this, dude. Nah, man. RCB has a
Okay, wait.